Hey, what's up guys? It's your man 4am again, back with a new guide for Wartales. Today I'm gonna show you how you can deal with rat infestations, as they can be pretty tricky. You have to focus many different targets with different characters. Your companions can even become insane because of the plague infections. So I'm gonna talk about pretty much everything you need to know and make sure to get the most rewards out of it. So let's get right to it. Alright, so what you're gonna do first is visit one of the villages in the game. I'm currently in Tiltren, in the Tiltren county. You should be able to find an apothecary in every major village. But what you wanna do is visit the apothecary or clinic and talk to the person inside. He or she will sell you the cure of the plague. It's not a guarantee that it will be in the shop, but if it is, it will always restock. So remember which merchants do have it. I already know that Joren Toverdrank in Marheim doesn't sell them. So what you want to do is stock up on as many of these bad boys as possible before you go and fight the Rat Infestation. If you're in need of more cures of the plagues, definitely make sure to stick till the end, as I'm going to show you a secret location in Tiltren County where you can get your hands on more of these bad boys. And the next thing you want to do is visit your camp. And we're going to craft some torches, as these are very effective against the creatures which we will find inside the Rat Infestation caves. So we're going to visit the Tinkerer workshop. We're going to select our Tinkerer. And right here we've got torches. You don't have to craft them. If you don't have the resources, you can also just purchase them somewhere. A nice place, if you are in Tiltren County, would be right before the Tiltren Tomb. Exactly at the entrance, you will find a guy who sells like at least 10 to 15 torches. So this is definitely an interesting place to pick them up. Anyways, what we're going to do next is visit one of the Rat Infestations. I also recommend you to start a bounty for them, so you will get a hefty Krown bonus as reward. For that, you want to go to the inn and talk to the emissaries, and they will always give you those jobs. So now we're pretty much ready for the battle. Of course, before we attack, you want to make sure that you are well rested. With that, I mean that you want to make sure that some of your units are at the tent. So they will generate some extra valor points, because you're going to need every single one of those in the combat. If you start with 0 valor points, it's going to be a problem. And yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory that you should always bring enough raw materials and medicine to the party. Alright, here we go. So this is our Rat Infestation, which we're going to fight today. Looks pretty nasty. Now, before we start the event, I want to talk a little bit about my crew composition, as this is very important. You want to make sure you take the right guys to the party, as every single one of them will have a specific task during this event. So first off, we have the big boys right here. They come with a lot of armor and HP, so they can keep the rats busy for a pretty long time. Godric doesn't have a lot of AoE abilities, but you can definitely tell that the rats won't take him down anytime soon. To take care of as many rats as possible, we have our beloved swordsman right here, Van Cleave. Boy oh boy, he can actually take out 6 rats with one single turn. So first off, we've got the Cleave. I think it's up to 3 which you can kill with this one. Usually takes him out with one single strike, while we also have the Destabilization Strike. Also deals a ton of damage, usually kills the rats instantly. With the Wrath ability, we can finish a target, while with a tactical order, you can order an ally if you stand next to it to take it down as well, which is very nice. And this guy also comes with the Valorous Duel. Every time it engages in combat, I gain a Valor point. And also the Bulwark, each time it engages, it also gets deflection. So even though this guy is meant for destruction, he's also a pretty nice tank. So, while you're keeping the rats busy with the big boys, you also want to take out as many of those plague towers as possible to increase the reward which you get after destroying the Broodmother. For that, you want to bring some hunters or archers. So we're going to use our regular shoot attack, but at the same time also bring a recoil shot. This is definitely recommended, as it will allow you to shoot twice. At level 5, I recommend you to go with precision, because after every second attack, you will also apply vulnerability to your enemy, which stacks with another ability, which I'm going to talk about in a second, so you can take out those towers very quickly. The only downside of the archers is that they come with less base movement speed, so you definitely want to take something which allows you to disengage from combat and to help the archers complete their job as quick as possible. I'm also bringing 2 strategist rogues to the party. these equipped with a dagger, but also a torch in their offhand, as it will give you an extra torch strike ability, which deals increased damage against these rats. So it's a very nice AoE clear, basically, to get rid of them very quickly. Make sure that the archers can continue with their mission to take out the towers. And I also have the smokescreen ability. While they also come with a Wrath, so they can take out more rats if they are at low HP, disengage to move around a little bit faster. At level 5, we have the Deadly Contract, which applies fragility to the closest enemy, so this will add up further to the damage increase on those towers. So that's basically our squad. The big guys are gonna keep the rats busy. The rangers or rogues are gonna take out as many of them as possible around the archers, so the archers can finish all the towers, and then the entire squad is gonna focus down the Broodmother. Alright, here we go. Your feet sink into some repulsive muck. The ground shudders. Alright, so during these events, positioning is key, as we're gonna have to deal with as many outgrowths as possible to increase the reward. So we have 7 to deal with in total. So we've got 1 right here, 1 right here, 1 right here, and 2 more right there. Another one, and that is another one very close to the party. So pretty much a circle. So you can do a rotation with your units to take them down as efficient and fast as possible. But at the same time, we want to make sure that they don't fight with the rats, because they will basically take them down. So what we're going to do is make sure that our positioning is key. This is already half of the victory, guys. Make sure that our tanks are placed right in front of the rats, while with the rogues and the archers, we're going to be as close to the outgrowths as possible. So we have 1 archer very close to this one, 1 archer very close to that one, and with our rogues, we can always clear some extra rats, and they're going to basically protect the archers while they're doing their job, and our tanks, they're just going to slaughter all the rats. Now, for the turns, this one gets to play first, then this one. So we want to make sure that we first play the turn with this archer, as otherwise they will engage. So instead, right now, it's probably going to move to Van Cleef or Dirge. Doesn't matter as long as it's not my archer. And I'm going to cover some extra distance right here by using my run ability, and then shoot this thing twice. After 2 arrows, I will also apply vulnerability. Next attack suffered will be a critical hit because of the precision we just talked about. So that red will play, and then that red will play. So what I'm going to do is end the turn of Ari, and I'm going to use Dirge. And what I'm going to do is stand right here. I'm going to use my fire attack to already take out 2 of them. We can always use the Wrath, our regular Toxic Blade, but that's not what we need right now. So we're just going to move towards Ari, and we're going to protect her, starting in the next round, as the rats will also start spreading around her, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So this rat just engaged my rogue, which is fine. We've got 3 turns right now. So the first one is going to be with Aragorn. So we're going to hit this thing twice. Apply the vulnerability because of the critical hit after 2 arrows. And then we want to move towards this outgrowth or that one. So I'm just going to try and cover as much distance as possible. But we still want to be in range of the outgrowth. So we don't want to move away too far, let's say. So I'm just going to stand right here, end my turn. Then with Hey Bill, as it's going to have to protect Aragorn, we're going to finish off this rat. With the Wrath ability, we can make sure it's dead. And then use the move ability and accompany it. Then we only have 2 more turns, and as you can see, we've already taken out all the rats, all the threats. So we are pretty safe. Normally with Van Cleef you can already take out 5 rats, but this time we only need to do 2 of those. That's another one. End turn. Just got an extra Valor point. Now with Godric, we're just gonna stand as close to Van Cleef as possible and finish this one off. Voila! All the rats are gone. Now we will end our turn. And the Broodmother will summon in some new rats. Every single turn, she will call in more and more. The first round, it's 7. And after a couple turns, they will also go berserk. Deal 30% more damage, so you want to be careful with that. Anyways, most of them spawn around me, so that's a good thing. We only have 1 rat right here. So what we're gonna do first is take our turn with Aragorn. Shoot the outgrowth. Then with Ari, we get to shoot a couple times. That's 1. And that's 2. Fantastic. That's already our first outgrowth. So now the poison cloud also gets removed. I don't want to move close to the plague rat though. So what I'm going to do is walk this way instead. And we can already do the run ability to get a little bit closer even. The next thing we can do is just run in there and finish off the outgrowth. You don't want to do this too often as the poison will stack up and it will become pretty annoying to deal with that later on. But I'm going to do it this time. And we're going to just move to Aragorn as quick as possible. So that's already 2 outgrowths gone. And now we're going to end turn. I still have a couple turns right now, and these play next, so they're probably going to engage Dirge first. So what I need to do is make sure to get out of this place as quick as possible and accompany Ari, so instead they will move to my tanks, which is my plan right here. So now this rat is forced to go to either Van Cleef or Godric, same for this guy, and they can basically take care of the rest. And now we have the Broodmother calling in more rats. Okay, 2 rats start right there, as well as this one, so we want to make sure we run away from it. And that one also gets to play. Hay Bale is already pretty low and has a poison. These are both on nice amount of HP, so I think I'm going to have to save Hay Bale first, and then we can also move to these plague rats. Alright, that one is almost gone. Finish it off. Now we're going to move on to these bad boys. With Dirge... First, the fire ability. Bam. Both rats are gone. Move on to this one. Finish it off. And then basically run to the next outgrowth. I'm just going to stand, I think, right here. That's going to be just fine. Alright, vulnerability and slowdown. Let's end our turn near Dirge so we can get an extra Valor point. And yeah, now it's Aragorn's turn. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Over half HP already, so that's good. We don't really have to kill all the rats right here, as these guys still have a nice amount of HP, so they will be able to deal with this eventually. Okay, so right now, at this turn, the rats also get rage, so the damage they deal is increased by 30%. This is pretty scary. Not a huge deal for Godric and Van Cleef, but most dangerous for your archers and rogues. The funny thing is, because we are positioned like in this choke point, it's gonna be very difficult for the rats to reach us. So this is actually perfect. We can just let them stand right there. I'm also gonna stand on this location. And then that rat can possibly engage on me, but all the others, they constantly have to run around in order to hit me. So right now I really don't have to do anything. Unfortunately, we didn't crit, but this outgrowth is definitely going down next turn. Look at that. That was a nice crit. Let's go. Another outgrowth gone. So we can move to Dirge. Make sure you're always close enough to each other so you can keep stacking up on those Valor points with the Valorous support, for example. And we're going to end turn. You don't want to focus on killing the enemies right now. They're just going to pile up and they're going to make it more complicated for their allies to reach your characters. Okay, so right now we've got 2 of them engaging first right there and 1 right there. So let's first deal with this squad. That's just 1 engage right there. Not that bad. Disengage. Oh yes, we're gonna be able to hit 3 right now. And we're just gonna stay in this place. We're gonna disengage and start shooting this thing. That right there is a plague infected wound. So this must be healed before the next res, otherwise your character becomes infested. Go berserk, let's say, something you want to avoid at all times. So let me just disengage quickly so we can finish off this outgrowth. Alright, more rats are coming in. As you can see, things become pretty cozy right here. We've got 2 rats engaging at the very first turn at this location, while right here we also have 2. So yeah, this is gotta be a problem. We want to make sure that this doesn't last very long anymore. Haybill is at low HP, so he has to deal with everything right now. Now we want to take care of as many rats as possible right here as well, before they get overcrowded, let's say. Stand in the middle and swing just like that. Oh, perfect. Ooh, Aragorn is super low in HP right now. This is a problem. That's a 5th outgrowth gone. Another plague infected wound. Ooh boy. And you know what? With Van Cleef, I'm gonna disengage. And already weaken the Broodmother, so it's almost dead. Destabilization strike. And then hit this swing. And then with this one right here. If it crits, it will destroy the Broodmother. So I'm just gonna end turn. So now, since we always get to start, we can actually destroy the Broodmother before anything bad happens. So let's see. The first turns, we've got all these exclamation marks. They will play first. But then if we go to the top, we see 3 more rats that will engage on these 2 guys. And they will probably die. So that's a big problem. So we basically cannot survive with these characters. We want to prevent losing companions at all times, as they are a pretty nice level. So we're just gonna leave these 2 outgrowths and we're gonna end it. We're gonna wrap it up. 5 to 7 on double hard is pretty nice in my opinion. So what we're gonna do is disengage with Godric, with Van Cleef. He's gonna take some damage. And then we're gonna do our swing. Floops. And we're gonna do our Wrath ability. Bam. And that's it. Now we get rewards based on 5 outgrowths destroyed. The Broodmother is dead, the rats will flee. 5 Plague Infected Outgrowth Samples, also an affected brain, one of the most important things basically for this, and also some nice other stuff. Heal everyone and repair the damages done. We're gonna loot everything. So now, if we go back to the camp, you can see that all our units basically have the Plague Infected wound, except for Godric right there. So we're gonna have to treat this with the Cure of the Plague. The success rate will be 100%, so we're gonna heal it. Then for the next one as well. Now we have a problem, as we still have 1 character left with a Plague Infected wound. You can treat the injury and have a success rate with 25% with the medicine, but right now I'm also going to show you another place, which is very close to these outgrowths, which allows you to get your hands on those cures as well. First though, I'm going to have to rest with this Plague Infected wound. Don't worry guys, your character will not go insane with that very first rest, as yeah, you simply lose a lot of energy because of that fight. So right now we have a full fatigue bar and we can go to that place where we can get our hands on even more cures, or of course just travel back to a village where you can purchase them as well. So now we are at the woodcutter's camp, walking towards the abandoned tower. And right in front of us, look at that, we've got a little squad with this snake sword icon. You can talk with these guys and give the affected blood, which we just looted, and get the Purifier's ring in return. But first, I recommend you to buy all the cures of the plague this character has with it. Because if you complete this quest, they will be gone afterwards. So right now they're gone. You cannot get the cure anymore. So it's very important to first purchase it and then complete that quest. Now we can just go to our injuries and cure this one right away. So the Rat Infestation is gone, we've cured all our units, and now we can collect our bounty in Stromkap. So we're going to visit the Traveler's Inn, and we're going to talk with the emissary. And look at that, we get a very nice bounty for taking out that infestation. And what you want to do next is also visit the apothecary clinic, because right here you can talk with this woman, and they will actually sell blueprints or recipes, and you can buy them for one of those brains. So we've just unlocked Sharpening Oil, which increases the critical hit of your characters by 10%, which is fantastic for archers and rogues. So if you want to craft that, you basically want to visit the alchemy table, and there you will find your oils. But that, my friends, is pretty much everything you need to know about the Rat Infestations. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, and of course don't hesitate to subscribe, as there is a lot more coming your way. Right now though, I want to wish you good luck with the Rat Infestation. If you have questions about the game, leave them in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.